Salute to you for joining me. I appreciate you here on Rastas Realities, where the real is raw and the truth is the law. Sore spot. Marshall Plan for blacks? Why not? Japan's reparations after the bombings. The Jews' Nuremberg trials after WW2, that's World War II, removed the knee to the neck of the Jews and the Japs. Essentially repaired somewhat the injustices brought on by colonizers, wars, and bombings. Why is it okay for them and not okay for ebonies or blacks? Sit, relax, grab your headphones, and roll with me as I shed some light and insight into it. Reparations or a Marshall Plan for ebony folk would be disastrous for systems of white supremacy in ways that would refine and redefine history itself. One being that oppression America's stranglehold on all future plans of oppression would be compromised. It would also signal to the rest of the world, of which they already were aware of, that the most oppressed people, ebony people, black people, who are targeted with physical and mental oppressive racism, among other forms of injustices, are getting their just desserts, are now moving into some sort of power position. Because as history has said, after a country or a group of people have wronged another group of people or another country, some sort of reparations were paid. I liken slavery to Jonestown, the massacre that occurred there, and how a European engineered such long-term oppressive behaviors onto a group of people who willingly went along to get along. Sounds familiar? Democrats. Republicans. Even in Jonestown, reparations were paid to surviving and suing family members. So the pushback on reparations for ebony people isn't valid. Excuses for not doing so or even talks about it will no longer be accepted. It seems that every time the subject matter of reparations is brought up, there's massive amounts of deflection and or subject changes to any and everything but reparations for ebony folk. The conversation steers towards sexual preferences. Who does that sound like? And other oppressive subject matters, or matters that don't mean anything to ebony or black folk. Let me say this. Who screws you is only your business. But ebony and or blacks are done with being screwed, and not in a sexual manner. Speaking of business, it is apparently clear that those who have paid reparations has the understanding that after cutting the check, the recipients practice true independence. It seems that fact instills deep fear in oppression America's gut. Why is that? This is why no political party has campaigned for such a grand measure. They haven't even discussed it. And it's not the fact that it cannot be done, because history proves that it can be done. It is also to further promote oppression America's agendas. The Japanese formed a civil rights group or correlation to that led them to not only getting others to talk about, but act in the best interest of reparations, especially when others are saying things like, it isn't feasible. Reparations, it isn't feasible. Bernie. In the description below are supporting articles regarding this topic of reparations, as well as results of it. We have civil rights groups, but unfortunately, they have been co-opted, bought off, all while others constantly state that reparations cannot be done for ebony people. It is another lie, and we all know it. Check this out. Though even the ones who look like us and also speak against reparations for ebony folks, and with the same mouth stated that they would not leave the money on the table when it happens, because it's going to happen. Talk about backstabbing, hypocritical losers. These are the types of people that, if we're all in battle during war, we kill them first, and then the other enemies, as they either would not fight in the collective effort and or would run to become traitors and POWs. We, the ebony descendants of Africa, unapologetically will get what we seek, and no matter how much they, the whomever, cannot and will not continue to sweep under the rug what's due us. Just because you ignore a bill doesn't mean that you're not going to pay for it. Besides, it's the American way. It doesn't matter if I will not be here to see it come to fruition. It only matters that future generations will see and carry on our works as we have seen and read and carried on their fights for basic and human rights, as our civil rights leaders did in the past. Thank you for joining me for this quick talk. If you're new to the channel and enjoy the content, please subscribe, like, and tap that bell to be notified when I go live. Thank you again for tuning in, my friend and foe, because it makes me smile, not frown, to know that my message massage your mentals, and like a rental you checked in and out. Truth, reality is what this channel's about. I am R. Akil Bomani for Rastas Realities. Peace to you.